I think the key message about CSR is that the days when people thought that you could raise money for a charity or do some other type of good work and that would stand as a CSR strategy have long gone. So CSR needs to be considered a strategic part of any business's thinking. Unfortunately, I think a lot of the time CSR is the product of CSR strategy is a product of instinct rather than evidence. The most important single audience for any CSR program is the internal audience, it's people. Employees are much more committed to and involved with a brand than a consumer ever will be. They can be very powerful advocates and they can be very powerful critics as well. So I think the first thing to say is treat your employees as your most important audience when it comes to corporate reputation. It can be very difficult for anyone in an organisation, particularly those who have a commercial responsibility, to look beyond this month's sales, this quarter's report. But the evidence is growing that those companies that have a true social purpose, those companies that have a really deeply embedded, properly committed, properly structured, properly funded CSR policy, the evidence suggests that they actually outperform the stock market. So there's very powerful evidence, even if this month or this quarter it might not look like it, the evidence is mounting that businesses with a social purpose do well. I've spoken to a number of people here at the conference, and one observation that was made is that the more educated people are more cynical about CSR, and those who are less educated are more willing to absorb the CSR messages of corporations, which is an interesting observation. I wouldn't make the same observation about my market, the UK, where I think actually the more educated consumers, first of all, will take the time to understand how well or not so well a company behaves and make decisions based on what they find. So maybe there are some important differences between the Czech and the UK market. The first presentation revealed that the most important trend in the Czech market is the development of social media. The second most important trend is the profile and the importance attached to CSR. I think those two things are intimately connected. They go hand in hand. As more and more people adopt and use social media, the more vulnerable companies become in terms of their CSR practices, but also the greater the reward for those businesses that behave in a way which appeals to the social media generation. So CSR and social media are two parallel trends that are increasing importance in partnership with one another. One feeds the other.